Good afternoon. My name is Jeremiah Plasters. I'm a lieutenant paramedic with the City of Clermont Fire Department, B Shift Heavy Rescue. I'm here with Task Force 4 as a technical search specialist. Basically, we deal with acoustic listening devices and search cameras, amongst other things, with the U.S. National Grid system and being able to plot waypoints when we are trying to locate victims as a part of a search team when we go out as a forward crew.
Thank you. And if you could just speak a little louder, I know just because of I don't have a mic, so I apologize for that. Tell me, how would you describe or measure the impact that you had and what you did there?
I don't think that there's any way for us to be able to measure what we were able to accomplish while we were in the Panhandle. We were in Port St. Joe, Money Bayou, South Mexico Beach, all the hardest hit areas where it was catastrophic. To be able to go in and recover a body and be able to return them to their family so that they have some peace at the end of the day was probably one of the most moving moments that I had personally to participate in that. Also, in addition to that, doing the searches and talking to people who did stay, the people who were coming back to see that they'd lost everything. Being able to share a moment with them and tell them that they're going to rebuild and that we're there for them. It's definitely humbling and makes me appreciate what we have.
What did you see, smell, hear while you were, give me some sensory details about what it was like. Were you physically digging through and crawling through, or what were you doing?
So the first day that we were there, in the late evening when we were able to get our base of operations at Sacred Heart in Port St. Joe, we went out on our forward operations teams, on our Bobcats and our trucks to be able to start primary searches for the hardest hit areas in Mexico Beach. One of the most eerie things that I think that all of the guys will tell you that we heard was all the smoke detectors because of the rain damage. So the water got in and all the smoke detectors that were hanging out of the buildings and all the collapsed buildings and the structures all were alarming. And it went on for about 4 days. So every time we were in the area, that's something that these guys will probably never forget for the rest of their lives. In addition to that, a lot of helicopters, a lot of news media, a lot of people all over the place, whether it was the trucks, the Humvees from the military, the National Guard, the state troopers, the FWC, who was our security complement. Everybody, it was a huge culmination of an effort that was overwhelming when we arrived in Mexico Beach to be able to try to help those people as best we could.
And what were the biggest challenges and most uncomfortable moments for you serving?
The challenge was that we are hungry to try to help people, and we really wanted to find the people that stayed. Initial reports were that we had over 200 people that were remaining in the area that did not leave when the hurricane came through. Fortunately, once cell service finally came back up, a lot of those people who did stay and that were okay were able to make contact with their families and let them know that they were okay. After that, there were about 40 more people that were confirmed to have been missing that we were out searching for. It's definitely difficult to search a two-story structure that is completely like matchsticks on the ground after a hurricane comes through like that. And so we were using a lot of our dogs, a lot of our search cameras, a lot of all that stuff to be able to call out and try to find anybody who might have been viable to be able to rescue and recover from those areas. Outside of that, it was difficult, but nonetheless, everybody was motivated and energetic. Waking up 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, getting on our gear and going out the door and doing it till sunset, and then breaking down all of our equipment, making sure everything's cleaned up and ready for the next day at about midnight every night. So.
Wow. And just can you maybe give a shout out to what did it mean for you to have Clermont support you, send you, and welcome you back?
So I couldn't be here if it wasn't for the support of the fire chiefs and the city of Clermont. All of the support from the citizens at Clermont. If I wasn't employed by Clermont as a firefighter in the first place, I would have never had the opportunity to participate in Task Force 4, the state regional team, to be able to deploy as an urban search and rescue team to help others. So it really goes back to the fundamental basics of being able to take care of our city as the city of Clermont, and then those citizens being kind enough and the fire chief being gracious enough to allow his resources from his department for the city to be able to help people in the Panhandle and really represent who we are and what we do outside of where we're at.
Awesome. All right, and was this your last, was this your first mission with Task Force 4, or how many have you done, and how did it compare?
I've been on one previous where we deployed to Santa Fe at the Florida State Fire College when the rivers were cresting at Santa Fe. Unfortunately, there was no work for us to do because the rivers went down before it harmed any houses, so it was kind of a modified deployment where we didn't actually get to do much other than stage and be ready if we were needed. So this is my first full deployment, being out for 10 days and being able to work with guys from Seminole County, Orange County, Orlando, city of Maitland's, I'm sorry, not Maitland, St. Cloud, Apopka, all kinds of other departments, FWC, state troopers, the IST teams from the military. So being able to work with everybody was pretty neat and a first experience for me, something I will never forget in my entire life, and something that will humble me till the day I die.
Wow, thank you. Anything you want to add that I didn't ask you about?
Just happy to have been able to participate and be a part of the response going up there, and I hopefully was able to touch a lot of lives while we were up there, and they touched me as well, as far as being able to humble me and really make me appreciate what I have. So I'm happy and proud to be a City of Clermont firefighter, and I'm proud to be on Task Force 4.
Thank you so much.